Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers, including Peter Berryman, John Robertson, Brandon Trano, and IndyCar World Champion Alex Palou. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Hello and welcome as the XSLR Championship returns for round 10 and round 2 of the road section of the championship. here on Apex Racing TV. This week we head to Silverstone, sitting in the heart of Motorsport Valley in the UK. The track declares itself as the home of British racing, and with a history stretching all the way back to 1948. There is some justification to that claim. Beginning life all the way back in 1943 as RAF Silverstone, home to a unit of training unit of Wellington pilot bombers training in night bombing techniques. Of course, it's always been one of the fastest circuits that Silverstone has developed, from its windswept airfield origins into one of the most recognised tracks in world motorsport. I am Tim Cox. We've got Jonathan Grousby in the production booth, but right now, as always, I'm joined by Adam Thompson. Adam, welcome along. And, well, last time out at the Hockenheimring, it was an interesting race to say the least, and I think finally a bit of relief for us all that Cam Penson definitely showed that he's got a few chinks in his armour, and there were some people able to take the fight to him.
Well, yeah, no, we definitely found out that he's human. He still won the race, though, so we'll see what happens here. This track is totally different than where we were last week. This very quick track, very cold track right now. It's going to be super tight for all of these drivers. By tight, I mean a tight car or a very understeery car. So watching Cam actually go through here right now, you can kind of see the front end just wobble, just does not want to bite like you would want it to, but he's trying to get those things warmed up there. But no, this is going to be an interesting race. Brennan Horn, Bobby Ross, Jake Ham, they were all quick. So we'll see. I'll even throw in Paul Mikolajczyk in there. So all it takes is one mistake, Tim, and they'll be right on top of each other.
Qualifying well underway at the moment, and our driver's just on their outlaps currently. And let's just mention one of the few sponsors that we've got for this series. So first up, we've got Dangerous. Dangerous are a top 3D visualization firm specializing in high-quality 3D product CAD, package rendering services, and photorealistic product visuals. They specialize in automotive subjects and have extensive industrial and consumer product design experience. Let them help you visualize, promote, and communicate your design by heading across to dangerrust.net. That's Danger Rust with a double S on the end, .net. And, well, just right quick on board there. We're currently viewing Brennan Huron. Let's see how he can get on. Of course, we're running the historic version of Silverstone here on iRacing, so some may argue the better version of the circuit. Of course, all the iconic corners here and here, and Maggots and Beckett's has got to be, for me, one of the best sections of track anywhere in the whole of motor racing.
Yeah, it definitely is. And with this track, I'm going to be the ones that I think I would say it's better, because watching Cam Peterson go down through here right now, through Luffield and through this whole track. I mean, the whole front part of the track, the first 9 corners are so quick. Then you get back into those final 4 and everything slows down. You've got to be way more, agile, I guess. And you got to make sure to get the car pointed in the right direction without spinning it out. And that is a lot easier said than done, especially with cars like this. So yeah, I was able to run a few laps around the track with these guys, and it's definitely a challenge. I know that some of these guys are going to make it look easy, but I promise you it's not.
No, it's definitely not, indeed. And wow, I mean, it's just, what can I say? It's the classic version. I mean, one of my favourite corners, which disappeared when obviously the circuit was redone all the way back in 2010. We got 2011 technically, the new version of the circuit, and I mean, Bridge Corner. I just love that corner where the track just drops away from you. You hook her right under as you go underneath. Funnily enough, a bridge. Hence the name of the corner. And wow,
I think we're gonna watch. We're gonna watch right there. There you go. Josh Clogg just went right through there, and that corner, let me tell you, is amazing to drive in this car. You think you've got to let off. Everything in your instinct, in your body is telling you to let off into that left-hander. You get through the bridge and you got to go right. And again, you just want to let off so bad because of the blind corner, and you don't have to. The car just sticks right around there. It is an amazing elevation change. There is a bit of a bump, though, before the left-hander going into bridge on the outside of the track that I've found a few times, and got my wing a little bit of damage to the wing, so these drivers are going to have to watch that.
Yeah, it's definitely a tricky part, and well, we've got Cameron Peterson setting the timing sheets alight right now with a 1:28.67 second lap. Wow, a second clear of Josh Clark, currently in second place, but stand for everything, of course, where the drivers were taking off, and the sun is coming down here. It's Silverstone, currently just coming up to 10 to 6 local time, and that sunsets a bit further. It's going to be harder for the drivers to identify brake markers, etc. So it's definitely going to be an interesting challenge for our drivers. I know we were saying before the show, Adam, that you tried to set the weather as realistic to what it would be to here in the UK at this time of the year. Well, I can certainly tell you, I just wish it was 73 degrees right now. I think in some ways we'll be lucky if we get that in, June, July time at points. So, yeah, unfortunately, iRacing can't go down all the way to what the local weather is right about now, which is around about 6 degrees Celsius, which I think that's like in about the 20s or 30s Fahrenheit. No, it's a bit higher.
Well,
on the metric system here.
We talk American over here, Tim, so I don't know what you're talking about. But no, it's definitely cold over there right now, and the iRacing model, obviously, I can see why that they don't allow you to let it get down to 6 degrees. So, I mean, and it is going to be a challenge with these drivers at 73, and it's also going to be a challenge, as we just talked about with me trying to set times, and weather. I set it a little late here, guys, so it's going to be interesting to see if we're going to be able to get this race in before the sun goes totally down. So if it wasn't hard enough to drive around a very cold track, and I mean, if you're looking at iRacing standards, it's going to be even tougher when you can't see where you're going. So this is going to be interesting for all of us, I think.
I think it definitely is indeed. I mean, sure, they should be fine. We're going to be quite, taking the check flag in the dark and see after his 3 laps. Cameron Peterson just improving his time slightly there, 1:28.5. Josh Clark taking the fight to him. No, reducing that gap down to 9 tenths as Bobby Ross just having a little bit of an excursion there out onto the grass, but fine, already done and dusted for him. He already completed his 3 laps. Here's someone who hasn't, though. Jake Ham at the depths of qualifying. Let's see what sort of time he can pluck out here.
All 3 of these. Apologies, Tim. All 5 of these guys I've been running with through the practice sessions. I have not been running with Paul Mikolajczyk this week, but Jake Ham, he was down into the 130s, low 30-ish times. So he can definitely get a little quicker than that, and that's gonna put a battle up there for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and 5th, and 6th. Looking at Paul there, but. Man, I haven't seen anybody this week that can touch Cam. Cam's going to have to make a mistake here.
Just see Jake Ham there abandoning his last lap and heading into the pits, and we've only really got a couple of drivers left out on track to complete their lap. Scott Benavides, he's done and dusted with 13. 3 drivers yet to set times. Here's one of them, Jaden Darling.
Jaden does have an EOL for this race, so he's not going to be setting times. What he's doing out there, just doing some sighting laps probably. You'll see him, if he hasn't already, drop a wheel off the track to make sure that he doesn't set an actual time. Him and James Keir are both going to be starting from the back due to penalty points this week.
There we go, and that just leaves Lozano. Here he is, man from New Jersey. Well, really going for it in the absolute depths here, and halfway through it's probably going to be his one and only lap and opportunity to set a time. Be interested to see how he gets on. Long left in the lap as he heads around Club and the run down to Abbey now. See how he gets on underneath bridge.
What?
This is an amazing circuit, isn't it? That's an amazing part of the track, that.
So this is what I'm talking about here. These next 3 corners are so tough. You got to get down into first gear, but the car wants to slide out. You get on the gas. These cars are so torquey in first gear. Probably in first around here for the final corner, and you got to get on it without losing the traction, and then you short shift down the front stretch up to the finish line. But that is by far my favorite part of the track because it is one of the more difficult sections.
It is. I mean, so many iconic names just mentioned, like Prairie, Brooklands, Luffield, that section he was heading through there. Runs it incredibly wide, but doesn't matter because that is qualifying done and dusted. And play that lap good enough for 11th as well there. Good to see. But let's just take you through your grid here for round 10 of the championship. Cameron Peterson currently on pole. I say currently, he is on pole with Josh Clogg lining up on the front row with him. On the second row is Ross and Horan with Jake Ham and Mikolajczyk on the third row. The grid, DiPiero and Schwenker on the fourth row. Howard and Coates make up your fifth row and take you up to 10th with Lozano and Sorum on the 6th row of the grid. Owen and Benavides, they are on in 13th and 14th, your 7th row of the grid. Of course, James Keir and Jaden Darling, obviously, they're qualifying ban, and we're starting from the back of the grid, not setting times because of that, in 15th and 16th. Wow, I get the feeling it's time to take a big, deep breath now and get ready for what's going to be some absolutely amazing racing.
We did see the start from Cameron Peterson wasn't the greatest last week, so we'll see if he's kind of refined that, and we'll get going here. As long as he can refine this start, he should be pretty good. Get out in front, pretty tough to pass, dirty air, but going to be interesting. Looks like we're waiting on one more car to grid back there. Josh Clogg there in second place. No slouch, Tim. We've watched him all season. We know he's good in the trucks, and that transfers right over to the road.
It does indeed. It does indeed. And, wow, it's now time to place your bets. So we're just waiting for Jake Ham to take to the grid. He's the last driver, and then we'll be heading off. It's a long left. He's got about 20 seconds to head to the grid. Maybe a bit of mind games going on there from Ham, but he's taken up his slot. And we get ready, because here come the lights, and let's get ready to go racing at Silverstone in the XSLR Championship, and we are away in a really slow start from Peterson there. He's tumbling down the order right now, all the way down to 7th place. No, he's managed to just sneak a place back off DiPiero there.
Oh, he's wide.
Wow, it's all happening here. And turn 1, and there's a spinner. Who is that? It's Robert Schrenkler rotating round and damages rear wing as he lights up the rears to flick his way back round again, and a few more drivers heading off in the background. It's all happening this first lap here. We haven't maybe got around half a lap.
So Tim, I didn't mention these tires are going to be very, very cold. It's getting dark. There's no temperature in the track right now. And they are running into these issues. You can see, I know Jonathan's great, so we'll probably be able to pull up some replays, but I bet you're going to see a whole bunch of understeering going into turn 1. Front end just won't turn, especially when you're behind vehicles. So good on Bobby and Clogg, or Ross and Clogg, to get through there clean, and they're going, and watch out, don't look now, but Brendan Horn, no joke behind them, and Jake Ham's right back there as well. So there is still a battle going on here.
Well, I mean, despite his, what was, some might say, an appalling start, Peterson managed to get himself back up into 3rd as we just got a replay incoming. This is what happened to Kevin Irwin.
Lit him up. Oh!
Behind him, people spinning as they lit up their rears, trying to get the car off the line. And wow, it's almost reminiscent a little bit. That was, It was past turn 1, but Spa 1998, where we had that massive shunt in Formula 1 in the rain, thanks to David Coulthard. I mean, slightly different conditions, but, well, let's have a look at what happened to Tyler Coates right now. Another driver to struggle to get away, and it's just as he went for another go at the accelerator to flick the rear round. And I think, is he just about going to get off again? Yes, he is.
That was Man, that was very close. Tyler almost collected somebody trying to uncollect himself, but everybody got through there pretty well, and here comes the battle now. So this is what I'm interested to see is how this dirty air is going to affect Cam if he's able. I mean, you can see him washing out there just behind Bobby, follows Bobby out to the left side of the track. Going here through Bridge is going to be another one if Cam's going to try to make a move. If not, we're probably going to watch him wash out again. No, he kept that one tight. So this is a battle right here that's going to be very interesting to see how these guys are able to pass now that tires are starting to warm up now. It's just, I mean, you can just see the front end just does not want to turn in.
So coming around Luffield, this top three currently nose to tail and forming a breakaway group. It's under a second covering our top three. And right now Ross is under a lot of pressure from Peterson as he closes right up on the entry into Cops. Already fast right-hander. They'll be taking that quicker and quicker as the tyres come up to temperature during the race. On to lap 3 out at 21, but already we've already had enough action to last an entire race as they head through the most iconic set of corners in world motorsport. It's Maggots and Beckett's and out of Chapel onto the Hanger Straight, and we see Brennan Huron right now, he's chasing down Ham. However, he's got Lozano. He's not far behind to come down the Hanger Straight. The run down to Stowe, another incredibly fast corner out on track. Be interested to see how those three get on.
Tim, we watched Brennan last week. Brennan's no slouch. He made a mistake, unfortunately, that cost him the race win, but he knows how to drive these cars. So it's going to be interesting to see how Brennan can get up through there. And Darian Lozano as well. What a move there. That was, wow. Who was that?
Yeah, that was Coates getting past Benavides there into Stowe. Cracking move there. Really confident on the brakes. As we now see Coates just starting to pull away. So back to this amazing battle that's starting to really brew up between Ham Huron and Lozano as they come around Luffield. Who's going to get the best exit out of here? Well, for me, it looked like it was Huron using all the track. Definitely compared to Ham ahead of him, you can really see just visually, let alone on the timing tower, how he's closing up as they come. You can just see it struggle through there, though, but he held on to it. This is going to be interesting. Is he going to try to make him be dangerous through Maggots and Beckett's? He doesn't get it done there. Now you're just going to have to hang back a little bit. None of these corners coming up for these next few are going to give you the opportunity to pass, but getting into Bridge is where we're going to see more passing opportunities. Yeah, it's they head out of Chapel. You should see how they're going down the Hanger Straight into the opposite end of the Hanger Straight. It's this top three who are getting closer and closer, although it's Ross more so. He wasn't getting into the clutches of Peterson. However, he has now closed right up onto the back of Clog, but the overall gap between the three of them still remained at around about 9/10 of a second. As here comes Ross as they head through Abbey, down Farm Straight, into Bridge. This sight right-hander that allows the car to really grip and dig into the track as it drops away from you. Around Priory and into Brooklands. This part of the track still exists today. This is what it's going to get super. You can just see that these cars. So Bobby gets close to Josh, right? And then Cam, he can't make the pass. So Cam gets close to Bobby, and it's just going to be where all of these passing opportunities are. Now Bobby's backed off of Josh, and now Cam, he's fallen right back into the clutches of Cam again. But holy cow, this is going to be an ebbing and flowing race, I have a feeling, with a lapper coming up, which is not going to make Josh any friends at this point. Well, where he's going to catch him, though, is on the exit out of Chapel and obviously down that Hanger Straight. So this could really help Clog right now because he's going to get the slipstream. It will be a bit of a distance, though, between them. But it is going to help him down the Hanger Straight. Now they're going to come hard on the brakes. We look back from Clog, and you can see the slightly different, tighter line that Ross was taking there. However, the gap between the three of them is closed down. Only 6 tenths covering him as Darling just moves out of the way for our lead through coming through. But these three haven't really given up on one another either. If they look at Ham, Huron, and Lozano, they're closer than they've ever been. Yep, this is also, I mean, it's just going to be interesting to see how long these drivers are going to wait
Tim, it's going to get dark. I have a feeling it's going to get dark, and these drivers are going to have to make a move while they can still see, as Brennan thought about it. Didn't make it happen there, but you got to think how patient these guys are going to be. There is one forced pit stop here as well. They're running 20% fuel, so that's going to bring it a whole different set of issues into the equation. So kind of see how this goes. Jake gets wide.
Wow, could be Horan's chance now as Ham runs wide there through Luffield. As they come around Woodcote out onto the start-finish straight. It's another lap onto lap 6.
It's going to be a Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton. Whoa!
Into cops, and Horan just has to back out of it there. His next opportunity is going to be down the hanger straight. We look back from Ham. That is Horan looming there all over his gearbox. Just getting really squirrely there, Horan. Through Maggots and Beckett, he has to back out of it a little. This could give Ham the opportunity he needs just to keep on that position. We've had a change in our top 3 though. Peterson's got past Rolls ahead of him. And let's take a look at the replay. We're right aboard with Peterson, and this is how he got the move done. There we go, down the hanger straight, out of the slipstream.
Beautifully done. That you couldn't have scripted that much better.
Well, we head back live right now as you see Horan is closing into his target, and that is Ham. As they head down through bridge. I mean, Horan nearly tried to make a move there. I mean, well, you're far braver than I to try and make a move into bridge. It's a fast right-hander that, I mean, realistically, there's only one line there. I mean, unless you're incredibly brave to try and hang around the outside or dart at the inside. But you see, Horan definitely looking a lot more confident through Luffield compared to Ham right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the thing that we've got to look at too with Jake Ham. He had a race ban last week for no fault of his own, but due to penalty points. So he was in second place in the points. He's back there behind Paul Mikolajczyk and Jimmy Howitt now. He's back in fourth. So we're going to have to watch that battle because he's only about 5-6 points behind those two. So he's still got a chance to get back up there into second. Looking where Jimmy Howitt and Paul Mikolajczyk are. Jimmy's back there in 7th place with Paul back there in 12th. So at this point, it's kind of, you know, how much does Jake want to fight this? How much is he looking at points now that we're past halfway through the season at this point? Or does he want that 4th place?
And one thing, so just calm down a little out on track. Let's tell you about another one of our sponsors. This is watching Peterson closing in onto the back of the clock there. Nexus Fab. Nexus Fabrication specialise in metal fabrication and manufacturing for commercial, residential and custom projects, as well as signage, furniture and metal repair work. Find more about them by heading across to nexusfab.com. Oh wow, I'll tell you what is fab. For definite, it's this battle between our top 3 that is really, really hot and not. Peterson, after he's dispatched of Ross, he's not exactly dropped off the back of these 2 cars ahead of him. He's really, really started to close up and following Clog incredibly close. And it's like he's a lion stalking his prey right now as the Canadian.
Well, I promise you right now, Bobby still isn't out of this fight yet. He can hold on to the back of these guys through slipstream, and if he's just able to stay far enough back to not allow that dirty air to affect the front end of that car so much, as well as watch these 2 guys battle, I promise you Josh Clog is not going to give this lead up without a fight, especially knowing if anybody has a chance to beat Cam here, they want to do it. So, you know, it's unfortunate that Cam got off the start as poor as he did. He wouldn't be in this situation. He'd probably be 10 seconds ahead at this point, but now he's just back there fighting, trying to find a way around these guys. This is still anybody's race up here in the top 3.
It is definitely indeed. As we just watch as we head down through bridge. Peterson just seems to be just having a bit of a dart on the brakes there. Peterson just seems to be initially just lacking that bit of an edge to get past Clog. So he's looking for the switchback round Luffield. It's going to be sight to hang on around the outside there, and he's going to do it somehow. He's going to pull alongside It's going to take a big effort through Cops to get the move done, but he's got the better run out of Lovefield. Are we going to see a change for the lead? No, Peterson just has to back out. And once again, Klopp just almost shuts the door on him, but he allows him to come back out of him. As they head into Magnus and Beckett, and that is the move done.
That's done.
Wow. In spectacular fashion, Cam Peterson takes the lead here in Silverstone in the XSLR Championship.
Jonathan, if you wouldn't mind going back to that gearbox here, it looks like Clog may have a bit of front wing damage, which may have, yeah, looks like that left front is just pulled up just a little bit, which is going to cause a whole lot of downforce issues, especially now that he's following. So Bobby has a chance to get around Clog as well. We'll kind of see what happens here, or if Clog can stay close, which I'm impressed right now. He's doing pretty well.
Yes, indeed. They're all hanging on for life to one another. Well, the only thing to separate these top three. As we head back to the battle that is going on behind them. Zano's just dropped a bit back off the back of these two right now. It's down to Ham and Huron. Looking down through bridge, and this is getting interesting. He's coming up to a back marker. I think that might be Kevin Irwin. They're coming up to the back of there. He's, wow, you see just how squirrely the rear end can be as he heads right round the outside of Luffield.
You know, Jake is thanking Kevin for getting out of the way as well as he did there, because that catching him where he did could have caused way more problems. So, yeah, good job on Kevin for getting out of the way and letting these two battle. Woo! That looked like a move that almost didn't work out there.
That was incredibly close. Ross just having a good lunch. You can see that Cam Peterson, since getting past Clog, so we put out a 1.3 second advantage. So they come up onto, I think they're coming up to Schenkler right now. They head down the hangar straight into Stowe. And oh, Peterson just held up a little bit there by Schenkler as well. Once again, it's tricky for this part of the circuit. Only really one line.
Oh, this is
could be changed for second place.
Yep.
He is alongside. It's going to be Brave through here to try and hang on, and no, he just has to back up.
He's going to make it.
Go for it into bridge. Is he just almost loses the rear end? Has to back out of it. Does Ross, and Club lives to fight another day.
Now, if Bobby's got to stay close here. If he can stay close coming down the front stretch, he will have a move down into one. But now we all know how turn one worked out and real F1. So maybe that's not the best place to make an opportunity or to make a move, but man, if Bobby just looks like he came off the back of Josh just enough to give Josh some breathing room through here.
Head through Cops, of course. It's slightly obviously changed, with the newer version of the circuit. Of course, Cops comes now halfway through the circuit in the modern incarnation. However, the team corners both relatively similar in terms of, how they look in their profile and the way in which you take them. The newer version is not quite as fast as Cops. However, it still gives you plenty of action. Just to see these two, Ross just dropping off the back of Clog for now. However, definitely be looking to mount an attack. Just coming up to half race distance. We're on lap 11 here at Silverstone. Yes, indeed. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a voyage of the unknown for a lot of these drivers. You just see us right on board with Peterson right now as he heads through bridge. Just how dark it's getting out there. And, well, luckily, we've only got racing of around about another 20 minutes left. So we should be finishing still with some daylight left out there. It won't be complete pitch dark. But, however, Peterson just coming around to complete another lap. 3.5 seconds is the advantage he's got as Mikolajczyk heads out to the pits. He's elected to take his pit stop. Be the first in, one of the first into the pits. Jake Erwin, Darling and Benavides all headed to pit row. Just watch Ham right now, and there we go. A difference in strategy. Hearns dips out.
This is good. I think this might be good on Brennan as long as he can get in and out of his pit stop pretty clean here. This might be the opportunity that Brendan needs, but man, these guys can barely see their pit boxes right now. So it's going to be interesting to see. And these tires, I don't think he's going to take tires, but you wonder, Tim, how much are these going to cool down while he's sitting in the pits waiting for gas?
Luckily, not too much. They do maintain a relatively, it's only a quick splash and dash, so it doesn't affect it too much. However, obviously with the where they're working the tyres here, and especially in this car on the rears upmost, it does help to just cool them off a little bit of tad, where they might be getting a bit overheated as we see this battle for second place still going on. And you have to wonder whether Bobby Ross has made the right decision to stay out and keep fighting with Clog. However, he maybe should have just dipped in that a little bit earlier and taken his pit stop. He's elected to keep going, and well, we'll find out very soon if this has been the right strategy for him.
And here's something that I got to tell you about Bobby. I've been around him. He's a great guy. He's a very, very good racer. Been in this league for quite a while. He just does not give up the battle. If Bobby were to go into the pits on lap 12 or even this lap, he would have had a much better opportunity, as we're probably going to see with Brendan Horn, who decided to come in before Jake Ham. Whenever Jake makes his pit stop, I think Brendan's going to be able to make the move. Bobby's quicker. Josh has damage. He just cannot get the move done at this point. So if Josh comes in this lap, if he doesn't, Bobby definitely needs to take this pit stop right now.
We've got Howard and DiPiero. They are into the pits from 5th and 6th respectively. Well, they are heading down this. Ross still trying to cling on to the back of Clog. It's definitely getting interesting out there. We've got James Keir. He's in from 8th place. The Brit, up 7 places already. He's having a great race. It's home circuit. We look back from Clog. That is Ross behind us. The gap only 3/10 of a second. He tries to find a way past, a mount a challenge, and well, I would love to hear the cheer that Ross will let out surely when he makes his way. Well, if he can make his way past Clog, but just coming onto a car to come past, I think runs it in deep. Can this be Ross's chance? It's hard to hang on around the outside of Luffield. Maybe he's looking for a cutback. As Cam Peterson's in from the lead, he's going to lose that. Wow,
this is.
Clog and Ross are in.
This is where Bobby. Now it's just all going to come down to pit stops here. There is a quick repair. Josh is going to get that front wing repaired. So Bobby's going to have to get this done in the pits. I just don't think it's going to be able to happen out on track. It's just so tough to pass here, but I hope he proves me wrong.
Jake Ham's into the pits as well from 4th place. You see our leader head off. There's still the quick repair there for Clog.
This is this is what's going to create. We're going to see where Brendan comes out as Jake Ham comes in. Brendan coming down the stretch right now. I think he's going to get the move done.
It's going to be really close between us to see Brendan Herron heading round Cops. Keep an eye out to the right-hand side.
He got him.
There we go. Right, you can't even see him. Look back. There is Ham. And that is the move done up to 4th place for Herron.
Yeah, and that's what, I mean, Bobby, if he got his pit strat just a little bit different, I think he may have been able to make the move around Clog. So now this is just going to be a battle on track in the dark, which probably is not where you want it to happen, but I've seen crazier things happen. So we're going to kind of see how this goes, this battle here between Jerry DiPiero and Jimmy Howitt. Pretty interesting as well. A little bit of info on Jerry. I call him the old fast guy. He's the grandpa of the group there in XSLR, so pretty cool to see Jerry out there battling and up there in 6th place, not doing well. We saw him get tight there on lap 1, kind of got a little wide, but still up there in 6th with Jimmy Howitt right behind him, who is no slouch in these vehicles either. So this is probably the closest battle we got right now, other than Josh and Bobby. So kind of see how this all shakes out. I don't think Jerry's going to let Jerry's going to let Jimmy go easily. Jerry knows how to run these cars. He runs Miatas in real life, so he knows how to race.
Again, she'll be drawing on all that real-world race experience to head through bridge to try and keep all that position. And to see DiPiero, he's pretty lost in the back with Howard. He's just behind him. Around about 9/10 of a second. head around out of Luffield and just trying to spot who that is up in the distance they're coming up to. But move out of the way, one of the back markers there, and they come through. There we go. Let's just, I think it's probably time while things are just calming down slightly. About another one of our sponsors for this series. There's the Checkered Colitis Foundation. The Colitis Foundation is a non-profit, volunteer-fueled organisation dedicated to finding cures for Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, looking to improve the quality of life of children and adults affected by those diseases. You can find out more about them by heading to Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. Oh, wow, the sun is definitely, well, it's almost out. It's getting tough for us to see if everyone's still hanging in, and well, they still haven't given up with the racing whatsoever.
I want to apologize to all the viewers that are trying to watch this stream right now. This one's all on me, and this is just a shout out to the drivers who are still somehow keeping this close at the moment. So this is, yeah, this is impressive to see. Bobby still here in third place through one. You can kind of see Josh up there in the distance, still close enough to be able to see him for now. This is when braking markers, as you mentioned, Tim, at the beginning of the broadcast, is this is when it gets real tough, because you know what? You have no shadows. You've got really nothing that you've relied on with the sun up to make the move now.
Well, I think the only so you just see Jimmy Howard here trying to desperately follow his way past at the depths. Di Piero, they've made progress since their start with Di Piero per place and Howard up two. Let's be careful there just how much these two are battling, because Kia isn't too far behind. I mean, those 20 seconds, but still everything to play for here with their 5 laps remaining. I mean, if they really start to battle hard, start to struggle in these latter stages, I mean, Kia could well be using a bit of that homegrown knowledge, being a Brit, to get his way around the track quicker. I mean, the only thing is, if the drivers have got the driving line on, then okay, well, there you go. That answers that question. That might well be happen, but Clog still holding off Ross for now. But wow, that was so close there.
This may be the overtake of the season if Bobby can get this done in the dark around a track that is way too cold. As Bobby just, man, the front end just did not want to bite there. You saw the back end go, and then the front end didn't want to bite either. So, as Claude gets through the glass, yep, this is where it's going to get interesting. Claude's getting through the grass now. So yeah, here we go. See who makes the least amount of mistakes. Even Peterson up there. It's pretty dark now, so Peterson's probably holding on for dear life as well. I cannot wait for these interviews.
Going to be interesting, to say the least. And like I said, between these two, it's going to come down to who's going to make the least mistakes. As we head to a replay, this is of Tyler Coates, I think, heading down the hanger straight in Stowe. Ooh, understeer, Mitzi, and then out onto the grass, and around he goes.
I can't say I'd be any better at this point, to be honest.
Nope.
But Tyler got it. Tyler got it going again. Back out on the track. Just at this point, if you can keep driving the car, you're going to be okay. That was a move.
That was a move. We've somehow Ross has managed to get past Clog. Well, this is surely going to show us here. So, strong spots to the heading through Abbey. Oh, there we go. He's headed off the track, has Clog, and that has just allowed Ross through. Head up into second place. Wow, he's not quite given up with it yet.
There's another one.
Another off track there. You called it, Adam. You said it's going to come down to the driver making the least mistakes, and that is how Ross has managed to get past Clog.
We got another car off track up front here. So now maybe with Josh following Bobby, maybe Josh is going to be able to. You wonder how much damage he got first before I continue this. Doesn't like you got a little bit on the right front wing there, but if he can just stay behind Bobby, which may not be the best idea either, because Bobby could make a mistake as well, but Josh is still there, still hanging on. Just man, I don't know what you rely on at this point. The track becomes, the asphalt starts to look like the grass. Tires are getting even colder now. Understeering, as you can see there with Josh Clogg, it's just, at this point, you're holding on for dear life. They got 3 laps left, and I'm pretty sure they can't get done with this quick enough.
Yeah, I think they're definitely be hoping to get this one over and done with as quick as possible. I mean, the thing for Clogg, you know, of course, he carried damage during pretty much the whole of that first stint before the pit stops. And we saw just how much raw pace that he had. However, you know, I'm sure he can draw on a lot of that, and especially the way that Ross isn't getting away from Clogg right now, really showing to, you know, just how much raw pace that Josh Clogg has got. As we're just seeing this battle for 6th place between Di Piero and Howard, still trying to find a way past Di Piero, but not quite able to get it done yet.
This is a testament to these drivers. At this point, it becomes track knowledge. If you haven't been practicing, if you don't know where you're going, when it gets dark, you definitely won't know where you're going. So you can clearly tell that these 2 guys have practiced this track and have been able to, they're staying on track, and this battle is still raging. So, I mean, it's going to come down to if Jimmy wants to try to make a move on Jerry. With it being this dark, you don't know if Jerry's going to see him. Don't know what you can see out of the mirrors right now. This is just going to be interesting to kind of see how Jimmy approaches this, if he's just going to hang back or if he's going to try to go for a move. It doesn't look like he's backing off. It looks, you can see him closing the gap there through Maggots, I believe, and Beckett's. So yep. This is going to be interesting here.
Yes, indeed. And it just seems to be where Howard just seems to struggle through that section. Just can't seem to get close enough to be able to get the slipstream move done on the run down to Stone. This is the only thing that seems to be really hampering Howard from mounting a challenge to Di Piero right now.
Yeah, I'd love to see kind of an in-car here, maybe, if we could, of Howard, to see how he's getting along back there behind Jerry, to see where he's kind of gaining and losing time as he's going to come through bridge. You cannot see anything. My goodness, look at what these drivers are dealing with right now. So Jerry obviously out there leading the way. Jimmy can kind of get back there and follow Jerry. If he sees dust, he knows he probably shouldn't go there. So this is just getting real interesting here to see how Jerry's going to be able to get through here and allow just try to close that gap. And I don't even know how to do it, to be honest. This is this is uncharted territory, I think, for all of us.
It is indeed, and we've got 2 laps left remaining here at Silverstone in round 10 of the championship, and nothing to play for a few of our drivers. As
there it goes.
There we go. I think it's just all of a sudden the daylight has fallen off a cliff, and there's people absolutely everywhere trying to find their way round, off track, left, right, and centre. I could just see puffs of smoke, and as the sun has fully disappeared behind the horizon, there are a lot of off tracks happening. And well, I tell you what, the only person who's keeping it on track right now seems to be is Cam Peterson. Wow. There's, I think we might be done and dusted and rolling back a couple of laps here at Silverstone.
Yeah, Cam's pretty good at driving off-road at this point. I think he's found himself a wall or something. So, yeah, I think this is probably where we're going to be calling it, unfortunately. And this was on me again, and I apologize for all the viewers who are watching this.
Well, we came close.
Race. Understanding
2 laps from the end. I mean, they can see where bridge is, see the lights underneath it. And then it's the feelers out of how to turn right here. And well, the amount of broadcasting I do, you know, occasionally it just throws up these unique little ones where you've never seen anything like it. And this is definitely one to remember. As Peterson, he's on to the last lap, guessing by the horizon, you know, the dark shadows around the edge of the track where he is and odd cones that he might be. I mean, I tell you what, this is an amazing feat for the Canadian right now. He's not off track more and trying to guess where he is. And wow.
I don't think anybody knows what's going on. If he can just get through this lap and finish the race is all we need to get done here. So He's trying to find his way around through here. Looks like he might be able to get it done. Maybe? Uh-oh.
Well, I think, yes, well, only once have I been rendered speechless before, and I think this is the second time it's happened. And ironically, that was also in a Formula race as well. It was a Formula 3 race where the driver started, it was at Monza. It was funny if it was this season, unfortunately for another broadcaster at Apex, but the driver, he was leading. He got a comfortable margin over him as well, about 4 seconds. It was over his teammates who started weaving down the back straight, just navigated Parabolica fine, and got to literally within 20 meters of the start of the finish line to claim victory, and disconnected. And that was the only other time that I've been rendered speechless. And this is definitely one of them. Yeah, again, twice in one season. What are you doing to me here, Adam? Obviously you weren't responsible for the first one, but wow.
Yeah, I'm responsible for this one. I'm at this point I'm wondering if Cam's gonna be able to make it. He's so close.
Place your bets now of who's going to get past, well, actually get to finish this one and actually see the chicken flag. Trying to feel.
How is he doing this? He's now 47 seconds ahead of Ross. I think he's going the right way. It looks like he is. He looks like he's coming through left field about right now, maybe?
I'd love to see a track map of where everyone is right now and how they're trying to negotiate. There you go. Yeah, he's just coming around left field. Amazing spot. I couldn't even tell in the darkness. And he's somehow negotiating this. He's going to come. Well, I was going to say he's going to come across the line. He's still got a little bit to go. He can. Oh, there you go. You can see the bollards. Here we go. He can build up some speed. He's on the track. Now, can he remember where they are? Just trying to follow around. You can see the grandstands on the left-hand side there.
He's done it. He's done it.
In amazing circumstances here, Cameron Peterson takes the checkered flag. I get the feeling that, well, he'll take victory if we roll it back to at least a couple of laps. And
yeah, this is going to be definitely an admin.
Hold on now. This is what on, because they've got Jake Ham's disappeared out of the session there. It's Tyler Coates who is left out on track with him, and there we go. There's Ham's. Well, I just heard Ham's been disqualified for too many off tracks. I think that's understandable given the circumstances. We've got another driver taking the checkered flag. It's Tyler Coates to come home in 6th place. The last one is Brendan Hurren.
Brendan out here. He's still trying, isn't he? He's not going to give this one up without a fight. So, I mean, good on Brendan if he's able to get it done, but he's got the toughest part of the track in the daytime to get through. So trying to get it through it at nighttime is even harder.
It is indeed. And wow, hold on. I could hear that he's actually physically on the tarmac.
Really is?
Knows he is. He's going for it. He's feeling for it. He's going incredibly slowly and just literally feeling his way around as to whether he's on the track or not. And he's, due to other drivers giving up, he's up into 2nd place. There he's
Don't go into the pits now, Brendan.
Once again. Well, to be fair, that actually might help him because at least he'll find the wall and can keep nudging it along. There we go. He's going to get. That's the stage that we saw Cameron Peterson was at, where he can. I've just said over the radio. He's got disqualified, and that was him disappearing off. So only 2 drivers saw it out. Tyler Coates and Cameron Peterson, congratulations to you for making it to the finish and seeing the checkered flag. Well, I say seeing the checkered flag metaphorically, without without giving up, as a few of the drivers did out there. Well, there's your race results. I mean, I don't think they really stand for much. I mean, we can read through a bit of one thing. Even if we roll about 2, 3, 4, or even 5 laps, Cameron Peterson definitely taking the victory here at Silverstone. Well, I think was it Brennan? Sorry, just getting. I think he got disqualified in the final corner. But let's have a chat to. Well, as I was just saying, regardless of how many laps, whether it's 3, 4, or 5 laps, it gets wound back, and someone who actually managed to take the checkered flag as well. I mean, I did say earlier, Cam, about someone who saw the checkered flag. I don't think you would have actually been able to see old Barney there waving it ferociously in the pitch black.
I didn't see the checkered flag or the white flag for that matter. Yeah, it got dicey there at the end. It just went pitch black for me. I was in VR, and I can't adjust anything on the screen or nothing. So yeah, that was that happens from time to time, I guess. That's happened to me before in another league race. So I mean, so it wasn't the first time for me, but it's still not much you can do as a driver when that happens. So, but yeah, before that, awesome racing, running with Josh and Bobby. That was phenomenal.
Well, we're just having a watch back on stream at the moment of the start of the race for you. Well, I'm sure you were angry and frustrated sat in the car as you watched everyone start to come past you. Was it just where you spun up the rears too much and you just couldn't get the power down to get going?
That's exactly it. It wasn't really even frustration. I kind of laughed at myself because I convinced myself that I had a good strategy going, and it was just a new strategy for a start, and it just fell straight on its face. So, but I mean, that led to some good battles with Josh and Bobby. So I mean, live and learn. I've got a new wheel, dual clutches coming next week. I think that's going to help me on the starts. I hope so.
Yeah, I'm sure it will do. And well, I mean, it's during this road section, you've been like what Valentino Rossi was when he first started off in MotoGP. Yeah, it used to be awful at the starts, but it used to be fascinating watching him come through the field. And I'm sure you'll take that comparison with two hands for definite. Next week, we head across to Zandvoort. How are you feeling about that one?
Yeah, that's going to be fun, I think. Lots of banking. Very different from Hockenheimring and Silverstone. So haven't done many laps there, but I'm familiar with it. And with these cars, it's going to be interesting, I think, with all that banking. So yeah, just looking forward to it. Like I always say, just take it in stride and, just learn as I go.
Cam, I got a quick question for you here. Jonathan Grabowski here in the production booth said that your Pro 4 and your Pro 2 off-road truck experience came in there in the last 2 laps. How true is that?
Technically, I think, because as I mentioned, I did a race like this before where the light shut off on me, and I was driving a Pro 2 truck at the time. So, yeah, it was. It's definitely handy. I mean, you can only go off of the outline of the upper parts of the fences and the clouds and see what that's the only way if you're spinning or not. And then just kind of guess where the track is, and if you're like I think I have an advantage because I run a motion rig, so I knew very well if I was on the track or not. It was very bumpy when I was not on the track, and it was smooth and calm when I was on the track. So I think that helped me quite a bit.
There you go. It's well, congratulations for obviously taking the victory in probably quite possibly the most unique circumstances that you will ever see in iRacing. Cameron Peterson there, your victor here today at Silverstone.
Yeah, that was really fun. Just want to thank you guys on the broadcast booth, Apex Racing TV, all the guys on XSLR, all the admins. Don't want to see it end like that, but I mean, it happens. To everyone on the Jim Beaver Esports team, General Tire, Fistful of Bourbon, Winners Gate Whiskey, and to everyone watching, thank you.
There you go. Let's have a chat now, Adam, with Bobby Ross, who, I would normally say it finished in insert position here. However, yeah, I think we'll be rolling back the results here a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Bobby,
oh my gosh. I think lap 19 I was in P2 because I was having a good battle.
Okay, perfect. So explain to me here. We were kind of talking about before the pit stops. If you would have just maybe made a move, which you were able to get done on track,
correct,
which was amazing, by the way. We'll talk about that there in a second. But were you rethinking your pit stop strategy as you saw Cam and Josh go ahead in front of you?
I wanted to at least try to stretch it out the best I could, and I just wanted to take it easy. No, don't push anything because especially those last 2 turns, the back end will just come out on you. And so I was just taking it easy. They'll race each other. And then once it was just between me and Josh, that's when I realized, okay, I have to pit on a certain lap. And until then, we were having a fantastic battle, the 3 of us. hectic start and even more hectic finish. I jokingly said to myself, man, I bet you I can drive this with my eyes closed, but this is the next best thing. Am I right?
Yeah. This is kind of what it looks like, I think, with your eyes closed. And I was kind of mentioning that, you know, the knowledge of the track probably helped some of you guys out. But when it got that dark, I don't think anything was going to save you guys. But kind of walk me through the race. I mean, you mentioned that battle with you, Cam, and Josh. It was just close the whole time, but it just didn't seem like the passing was really there.
It just could not. Just by the time you got the momentum, the draft, it was way too much. And because you're right behind that car, it gives you all that dirty air. It's going to push your car to the side. And I didn't want to risk taking me or my competitor out. So
Yeah,
I'd rather be safe with that.
Absolutely. And then obviously the last thing, walk us through the pass here. How'd you get it done? I know it was getting dark, but at least you guys could still see.
Correct.
We kind of went back, tried to watch it on stream, but just tried to keep the pressure on him then, I guess? Or how'd you make that work?
What I did was I just noticed, because I don't know if it's just because of the way the monitor was, but I guess people have different brightness settings. I was able to maintain my marker, so I was still able to hit my racing line to a certain degree. And I noticed that he was taking it way too easy, especially that section where he messed up on. He either turns way too early or he turned way too late. And I saw that moment, I had to gun it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations, Bobby, on your second place. And I know you weren't able to celebrate there after the line, but you know, we'll get there one of these days. But yeah, congrats on your second place. Anybody you want to shout out? Anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
For sure. Shout out to my cousin Vanessa. She had her fourth baby, a healthy baby girl. And especially thank you to my mom and my brother who were watching in the living room. And when they saw the lights flick out, they're like, what the heck? They're like, what the heck happened? And of course, I want to thank Rudy, Rohan, Jerry, everyone from Rice Racing. You guys are amazing. And of course, thank you to Apex Racing TV for covering these races. You guys are all fantastic.
Yeah, thanks, man, and you know, thanks for making light of the situation. No pun intended, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Woohoo!
Right.
There we go. It's wow, definitely an effervescent Bobby Ross there. Wow, what can we say? It's I mean, aside obviously of the ending, Adam, once again some absolutely amazing racing out on track.
Yeah, no, I just. You know, this one falls squarely on my shoulders, and I want to apologize to all the viewers out there. I can see the YouTube stream, the YouTube chat getting a little weird. Is this normal? No, I promise you it's not. That was just a mistake on my part, setting the session too late. But even the racing as it was getting dark until the sun just decided to totally disappear off the earth was incredibly good. So a shout out to all of these drivers in this league. Especially, you know, talking to some of these drivers, it was definitely tough out there with how cold the track was. So the racing was amazing up until the last 2 laps, and I'd say even it was amazing then because we got to see a couple people cross the line. So no, it was a great race. Promise it won't happen again to all the viewers out there, but yeah, it was just awesome racing from start to finish. Really the top 5, and then that battle between Jerry and Jimmy as well. There was battles going on all over the place.
Definitely, we had some amazing overtaking, and well, I think this is definitely one to remember from. Definitely, well, as I said, I mean, congratulations, you rendered me completely speechless, and that does not happen. Well. Like I was saying in the stream earlier, only once before has that happened. But yeah, congratulations on that and achieving other things as well, Adam. But no, all seriousness, we had some amazing racing, and of course next week heading across to Zandvoort. It's going to be definitely a trickier circuit, and all about the momentum and some epic corners, a real driver's circuit.
Yeah, it is going to be like you said, a driver's circuit, and if drivers thought it was tough to pass here, it's going to be even harder over there. So we'll kind of see how everything gets on. In broad daylight, it's going to be a lot tougher than what these guys had to deal with. Probably not as bad as it was when it got pitch black, but pretty close. So yeah, this is going to be interesting to see how they do over there, and I'm excited for these last 2.
Likewise, it's going to be interesting, and coming up on the channel, It's we've got coming up tomorrow night at 8 p.m. at GMT. It's the ARR Master Cup as they head to Laguna Seca, and then it's 1 a.m. GMT on probably Tuesday morning. Technically, Rickometic World Challenge. It is round 4 from Mid-Ohio for them, and then coming up shortly after that, an hour after it, it is the Ray Esports Racing League, and they head to Mid-Ohio as well. And then I'll be back in the commentary booth on Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. GMT for the Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup Series. It's the season finale from Knock Hill. Make sure you tune in for that one. Some absolutely amazing racing and action within that one. But well, what can we say? It's been a night of firsts and wow, despite the absolutely crazy circumstances, which I'm guarantee you will see hardly anywhere, if at all, or ever. And well, I'm completely speechless, but from myself, Tim Cox, Adam Thompson, and John Grabowski in the production booth. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in a week's time as we head to Zandvoort.